90% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't live the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and then they sent me where the life is be. That level 4 with depth and vice, the type of stuff they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die a chump. I never been a mark, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get pumped, and some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, AB skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF, the Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. That MS was loony, quick to ride up on they rival. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in a Bible. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the Hustlers quick to roll, the gangsters gon' move. Whatever click you choose, you better
Say, what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down! Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. During those times, I accumulated some good stories. I'm going to share one with y'all today. If you like the video, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe. Most importantly, hit that notification bell. That way, anytime I drop a story, you'll be notified ASAP, and you can hop on it whenever you're ready. Also, yeah, that's me rapping on the intro. Like I told y'all, the flow is nothing like Curtis Blow. If you want to check out more of my music, go to my YouTube playlist, scroll down to gas stations. I also have a song called Never Gave Me Therapy on all streaming sites. Now let's hop right up into this story. So yeah, today I'm going to tell y'all a story about the last fight that I got into when I was locked up. Later on, I got into another tussle, but that wasn't an actual fight. It was just a tussle I got into with this dude they used to call TV Stevie, because TV Stevie didn't know how to share the TV. But maybe I'll get into y'all a little later on, right? But anyway, let's hop up into this story right here. So this story takes place about 2016, I want to say. I was at a prison known as CMC East in San Luis Obispo. Now, initially, like I told y'all, when I came to prison, I was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole. But the way the board was set up and structured, they were systematically denying 99.9% of the lifers who went in front of the board. Nobody would never get parole. So even if you were sentenced to life without the possibility, or excuse me, even if you were sentenced to life with the possibility of parole, you essentially had a sentence of life without the possibility of parole because the board wasn't letting anybody go. Now, around 2009, 2010, the whole entire system got revamped. They started letting lifers go. So people who I've been doing life with, now I'm seeing these dudes go to the board, get paroled, and they're actually leaving and going home. So of course that was a great incentive for me, as well as a lot of other lifers, to get our stuff together, start trying to stay out of trouble. They had also came up with some self-help groups known as LTOP, Long-Term Offenders Pilot Program, where we would go and learn stuff like criminal thinking, anger management, victims awareness, things like this. And they would give us these certificates, certain stuff that the board wanted us to have in our file and be able to explain to a certain degree when we went to the board. Also, another qualification of being found suitable and given a parole date, as suitable is the terminology that they use in California. Given a parole date basically is you have to stay out of trouble and be disciplinary free for at least 5 years, which is extremely hard to do when you're in a California prison with all these gangs and things going on, racial politics, and a place that's always so spontaneous. Violence can break out beep, boop, bop, boop, boop, at any given moment. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, like I say, I'm staying out of trouble. I'm trying to get up out of here. So now, when I'm getting ready to go, and also I have a board hearing coming up maybe in about 2 or 3 weeks before I get into this fight. Now, this is going to be the first time that I actually physically went to the board. The last 3 times I postponed it for a year, then I postponed it for a year again. I did what was called a stipulation. I stipulated that I wasn't ready to go to the board. I was trying to stipulate for 3 years, but the board would only agree to give me a 5-year stipulation. And so that's crazy, right? Some people is thinking, well, damn, Chill, how did you happen to have a chance to have freedom, potentially going to the board and you would postpone it for a year. Well, I've been in trouble. I've been getting into fights and riots. The last time I was supposed to go, I was in the hole for getting into a riot with the Compton and Watts car. And so I postponed it because in California, if you go to the board, they can give you a 3, 5, 7, 10, or even a 15-year denial. So of course, if you go up in there with a fresh write-up, you're likely to get a long-term denial. And so my lawyer thought I was going to get a 7 or a 10-year denial, so I stipulated for a 5 because that's all what they would agree to. So like I said, man, now here's the first time that I'm physically getting ready to go in front of the board and try to get my freedom right. And so yeah, like I say, I'm trying to stay out of the way. Sometimes, a lot of times I'm playing tennis, I'm doing my Arthur Trash thing because tennis is less argumentative, right? So every now and then I'll hop up on the basketball court. Now, on this particular day, let me take you guys back maybe 3 or 4 weeks before that. So 3 or 4 weeks before this particular day, me and a couple of dudes, we out on the yard, we rapping, right? And so there was a dude by the name of Jamaica. Jamaica was from New York somewhere, but I used to always see him with the San Diego Blood. So I thought he was a Blood, but come to find out, no, he was from New York, and that's just who he used to hang with, right? So he hopped up in the circle and he started rapping or whatever, right? And so afterwards, he was like, "Damn, Chill, you pretty hard, man. When you get out?" So I told him, "Hey, man, I got life," and so on and so forth. Of course, he was like, "Oh, he came, okay, like my bad, homie. Sorry to hear that," and blah blah blah. So I asked him, "What about you?" He said, "Oh, man, I go home in a month or two." So after that, every now and then we see each other. We'd post up somewhere, spit a couple raps or something like that. So on this particular day, we playing basketball. Now, like I said, he runs or he hangs with the San Diego Bloods, And so now we playing basketball. We happen to be on 2 opposing teams. And so I'm out there, I'm doing my thing, hitting him shots upon him, crossing him over a time or two or whatever. So eventually, some of his homies get to clowning him. Now, Jamaica probably was about 5'9", maybe about 160 pounds, 165, somewhere around there. Probably about 22 years old, 23 years old, somewhere around there. But he appeared to be older. And so, of course, when his homies go to clown on him and talking stuff, "Oh, man, you letting that old dude do you like that?" Man, because around this time, I'm probably in my 40s, in my early 40s. Instead of ignoring them dudes or telling them to shut up or getting on them, he bites into whatever they saying and start, "Oh, he can't do nothing with me. He can't even see." He starts talking, stuff and all this old type of stuff. Now, not necessarily knowing that I'm a lightweight comedian myself. Now, I had noticed him on that yard maybe about a year, right? Before we had the interaction when we was rapping and we met each other. And I would always notice that he had on state boots. I'm gonna put a picture up for you guys to see right there. And so, of course, those state boots are extremely hard. They got a hard sole, they got a hard bottom, and they issue us state boots so we can, depending on where we work, certain jobs you got to wear your boots. And if you going on a visit, you wear the boots to the visits unless you have a shoe chrono, right? And so even though they give you a pair of boots, you can trade them in once a year. But when you go to trade them in, chances are extremely high that they're never going to give you another brand new pair of boots. So only way you're going to get a brand new pair of boots if you pay for the boots by somebody who works up in the laundry. And so people who go on visits often, they like to have brand new boots. So now this dude is out there playing basketball in his boots. His boots is beat up. They all tore up. He probably, I didn't see him play football a couple times running in the dirt. So, his shoes are extremely tore up, and everybody's not necessarily fortunate enough to be able to order tennis shoes or whatever. But for anybody who plays basketball, if they're able, they definitely get them some tennis shoes. We can order tennis shoes too. So I get the ball, I blow past him. I say, "Oh, man, can't nobody in no state boots hold me," or whatever. So people on the sideline, they laughing and stuff. So now all of a sudden, Jamaica gets a little in his feelings. "Oh, well, that's all right. Oh, man, that's all right, man. I'm gonna go home. I'm going home soon. I'm going home. I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna get me some J's. I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna get me some J's." He's basically, what he's saying is, I'm getting ready to go home soon. I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna get me some Jordans. You know what I'm saying? And so now, so now I'm tripping. Okay, initially I'm trying to ignore this dude. I'm trying to use these things that I thought I didn't learn in anger management, right? Because I hear him taking shots at about how much time I got, and in my opinion, that's some real buster stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because if you out there, you thugging. I mean, obviously you were in prison, you had broke the law, so obviously you was out there breaking the law, or unless you just broke it one time. But my position on that is, if you out there gang banging or breaking the law or whatever, there's a potential for anybody to get life if you out there really gang banging, right? And so to me, that's just a sucker shot. That's a shot that suckers take at other dudes, especially gang members telling other gang members, oh man, yeah, that's why you got life, right? So initially I try to ignore it. And so he's still talking, oh yeah, I'm gonna get out there and get me some J's. So all of a sudden I go to clowning. I said, well, you need you some J's, because them boots ain't getting it, man. What do you call them things right there? What is them? The Goat Curry 23s or something? What is those? The Jerk Chicken Air Maxes? So dudes on the sideline, they laughing, like I said, because his boots is busted up, and I'm clowning him. Yeah, what is those, man? The Goat Curry 23s? What type of boots is those you got on right now? So everybody is laughing and stuff, clowning, and then he said, oh, that's all right, but when you get out, when you gonna go home? So now he's taking, like I said, personal shots. So like I say, I try to ignore him, He said that a time or two. After that, then I just lost it. And I called him the word, of course, that a man should never call a man. The B word, man, shut up. What you want to do? So now when I call him this, as soon as I call him that, his little buddies on the sideline, they like, ooh. So he turned around like, what's up? What you want to do? What's up? So he just put his head down and he walked off the basketball court. Yeah, I called it to him a couple more times, because by this time I'm mad. Now you doing this sucker stuff, in my opinion, right? And so they, after the game is over, they walk and they go around the track and down the track, and they over there by the basket. They over there by the phones. And so I'm over there, I'm shooting basket now. The game then broke up. I'm just shooting a couple baskets, but this stuff is in my mind. I'm hot, right? So I go over there, and plus I got a pretty good idea that his homies is pumping him up, saying, oh man, you can't let that dude call you that in front of everybody. You can't let that, you can't let him get away with that, right? So I go over there. Now, it was a dude by the name of Barzo. Shout out to Barzo, man. Barzo was out and free. We didn't talk a couple times. Barzo was from San Diego somewhere. Him and Barzo was kind of tight. That was his real name. So I walked down there. They over there hanging, like, matter of fact, they hanging under a tower, somewhat similar to what's in the background. So I called Barzo. I said, hey, yeah, Barzo, tell your boy if he want that fade, he can come up to my cell and get it. And Barzo like, oh yeah, we told him, man. We told him. So yeah, he gonna go up there and catch the fade. I said, yeah, tell him on the next unlock, I'll be up there. So the unlock is every hour, on the hour, they allow us to come in the building, go to our cells, stay, go take a shower if we want to hang in the cell or whatever, right? And so on the next unlock, I go up to the cell. I hurry up. I go up to my cell. Now, the cells in CMC are extremely small. These were actually single man cells. They had converted into 2-man cells. I believe at this time, though, they were all single man cells, but they still was extremely small. So I'm gonna try to find a picture of the cell to put up. And so also in the cell, we had a chair. And the cell is so small, there would be a window, and you could let the window down maybe about 12 inches, and we pick the chair up and hang the chair on the back of the window just to give us some more space. But the cell was small enough as it is. So I go to my cell, I get the chair. I had a cool neighbor on the right hand side of me, a white dude, young white dude, right? So I knock on the door. He's in there. I see him in there doing something. I knock on the door. He's like, hey, chill, what's up? I said, hey, man, I need to handle some business. Let me put this chair up in here for a minute. So he said, oh, okay. He got a kind of a look of surprise, like, oh, okay, what's going on? Then he's done enough time to know it's something in the air. And so I give him the chair and stuff. He's like, okay, no problem. So I close the door, not all the way. I just pull it, I don't lock it, but I pull it to where it's semi-shut. Now, just so happened, my cell is almost at the end of the hallway. The building almost reminds me of a college dormitory. You come up a few stairs, you come into the building, and there's a podium right there. There's 2 guards sitting at the podium. There's 3 floors in the building. So at this time, I happen to live on the 3rd floor. I'm in the cell maybe about 2 minutes. I look down the hall to see if old boy is coming. Here comes Jamaica. Jamaica's walking down there, Now, the whole point of me taking the fight to the cell is because, like I said, I have a board hearing coming up maybe in about 2 or 3 weeks, and I definitely cannot afford to get caught fighting. Now, if me and Jamaica was to get caught fighting on that yard, we both gonna get a write up, right? But the difference is with me, like I said, by me being a lifer and having to go to the board, they're gonna say, okay, well, here we are at a board hearing trying to let you out, and you just got into a fight 2 or 3 weeks ago, which shows us that you are not suitable to get released. Now, as opposed with him, he might get 30 days, he might get 30 days added on to his sentence. But if you stay out of trouble for, I think, maybe like 90 days, then you can request that time back. So I don't know if he had enough time to get the 30 days back, but the only thing would happen to him is he'd have to stay in jail 30 days longer, right? And so that was the whole purpose of me taking the fight to the cell so we can get away with the fight, right? So like I say, I look out, I see him walking down there, so I open the door a little more so he'll realize that it's open. And so when he come in, I'm at the back of my cell. So when he come in, he shut the door, and there's not a whole lot of room in the cell. As you guys see by the picture, the cell is extremely small. So when he come in and he shut the door, I throw him up. So when he turn around, he try to rush me. I give him a quick 2, bing, bing. Then after that, he put his head down. He tried to grab me. And after that, it was pretty much just a wrestling match because there's not a whole lot of room in that cell. So he tried to go low and grab me by the knees. So I grabbed my hand and put him up under his neck, and I got him like in a chokehold. And I'm talking to him like, yeah, boy, you can't mess with me. You can't mess with me, or whatever I'm saying. So I'm choking him as I'm looking up now. I'm seeing dudes walk past. They peeking in the window. My next door neighbor, who was from Harlem 30s, I believe his name was SD, he looking in the window. Then I see my other neighbor named Juju. I think Juju was either from San Diego or somewhere. Juju was a non-affiliate though. He peeking up in the window. I see Barzo walk past. He looking. So now I'm starting to get nervous because if you dudes is steady peering in the window, it may alert the guard that's sitting down there at the podium. And like I said, my whole reason of coming to the cell was to try to get away with this fight. Because if I happen to go to the board and with a fresh write-up for fighting, I can get a denial, maybe a 5 or 7 year denial, like I told you guys, or if I don't know if I mentioned it to the parole board is able to deny us for 3 years, 5 years, 17, or even 15 years. So imagine doing 17, 18 years, then you go in front of the parole board and they tell you, man, come back in 7 years. That's like a whole entirely new sentence, right? And so, yeah, that's what I'm telling dudes, because I got old boy, I'm trying to choke him. I'm saying, man, get away from the door. Get away from the door. Dudes is walking past, looking, trying to see what's going on. So I'm talking to him like, yeah, what's up? What's up? I'm trying to choke Jamaica out. He like, okay, I'm cool. He tapping me on my leg. Okay, chill, I'm cool. And to keep it 100, I'm a little bit nervous. Well, I'm a lot of bit nervous because now these dudes is peering in the cell, right? So I'm definitely not trying to get caught. So he said, okay, I'm cool. So I push him up. Let me get up out of here. You can't see me. After Jamaica leave, I slide the door open a little bit. I glance down the hall to see what the guard is doing. And if they're looking this way or if anybody's coming, ain't nobody coming. So after a couple of minutes, I step out. I go next door. I get my chair back from my neighbor. He's like, damn, Chill, what's going on, man? I said, oh, yeah, man, I had to go in here and take a quick fade real quick. He's like, oh, yeah, I was wondering. He said, I figured that when you handed me the chair, man. Are you cool? Is everything straight? I'm like, oh, yeah, man, everything is cool, man. Don't trip, So, of course, being in the same prison and on the same yard, eventually, I would see Jamaica. Sometimes we might be walking the child or going here, going there, and we'd have to pass each other or whatever. I just kept on pushing. Maybe about 3 or 4 weeks later, after that, we started walk past each other. He started speaking like, hey, what's up, Chill? And I'd speak to him, hey, what's up, Jamaica? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't definitely no hard feelings, but sometimes in prison, man, you got to catch that fade. Boop, bop, beep, bop, boop, bop, bop. Put them hammers on somebody or whatever, just to let them know that I ain't soft, man, and it can get ugly if you get disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's just a little story right there about my last fight in prison. But anyway, you already know who it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.